Hey everybody, Justin with the Millennial Mixtape here, back with an album review for Oliver Tree's Ugly is Beautiful. Now we've been waiting for this thing for a while, and Oliver has said that he was waiting to put this out because there were more important things going on that the country needed to focus on, and I would largely agree with that. And based on the content of the album, I have other suspicions of what's going on. So if you're excited about the album, let me know in the comments how you're feeling about it. What songs are your favorite, all that good stuff, and we're going to take a dive into Ugly is Beautiful right after this. Thanks for coming back, and just a real quick reminder, I am still doing my giveaway. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers. I'm currently at 90, very, very close. Once it hits 100, I'm going to do a giveaway of either $20 to Google Play Music or iTunes, or give away a season of your favorite TV show, as my other big series is Best Theme Song Ever, where I'm trying to find the best theme song ever written. So enough about that. If you like the content, like and subscribe. Let's get into Ugly is Beautiful. So this is Oliver Tree's first full-length album, and based on what he said, it is his last. He is retiring from music, the music industry, and he's going to focus on filmmaking. At least that's what he said. Now, I've got a sneaking suspicion that we're not done hearing from Oliver Tree. I think we're done hearing from this character that he's put on. I came onto the Oliver Tree train with Let Me Down, and that was like the first thing I heard from him. I was blown away. I was like, this is the most inventive stuff I've seen in a while. And now that he's put out this first full-length album, I am enjoying it. There are some things that don't quite hit the mark for me. What I'm getting from the album, there's a lot of self-destructive talk and callbacks. There's a sense of maybe feeling like you're not good enough. If you're into the Enneagram thing, he's like a 4, I guess, is what you would say, right? He's the unicorn, wanting to fit in and be perfect, but not able to see that in yourself. I'm getting that sense. As I mentioned before, he says there are other things that he wants people to focus on, and at least that's, when the album was originally supposed to release. And yes, that's true. There were way more important things going on in our country, still are now. But when you look at the lyrical content of this album, it's a lot of like inward frustration, right? Being frustrated at yourself. And at that time, when he was supposed to originally release it, there was a lot of outward frustration, things like systemic racism that were being confronted with the Black Lives Matter movement and George Floyd and COVID-19, all of these things that are still ongoing. And so I have to argue, like, was this the right time to release it? I mean, the Chicks, no longer Dixie Chicks, put out their album, which I'm working on my review for that. It is painful to listen to, not because it's bad, but because it is so personal. But this is personal in a different way. Like Oliver is, like I said before, I feel like Oliver Tree, this character Turbo that he is, presenting himself as, that he's not happy with the fame he's found as that character. And I think that is what's going on here. He announced his retirement from recording in the record industry. I think he's just retiring from Turbo. Like, I think he's just done with being Turbo, and that's fine. That's got to be exhausting. Watching his interview with Fantano, like, it was tiresome, like, to watch him put that on and to be so aggressive and, like, clearly not himself. And so when I listen to the lyrical content here, I'm getting that sense, like, he's tired of being this person, this character. Maybe he's a little unsure of if he's himself, will it be enough? Like, I'm getting a lot of that. And if you're getting that, let me know in the comments, or maybe I'm just reading too much into this, because like I said, I just discovered Oliver a few months ago. But yeah, if that's what you're getting, let me know. To talk about the album, it's very bedroom studio-esque, right? I get that he worked with a studio and that there was a lot of production put in behind this, but I also feel like he could have very easily done this just based on his previous tracks himself. Like, he could have done this in his room and it would sound the same. Like, it would. Influences, I'm getting a lot of like Gorillaz influence. I wasn't getting that before. I'm definitely getting that on songs like Miracle Man and Waste My Time. The 90s rock like Weezer and Brit rock like Blur is also prevalent on several tracks. Songs like Cash Machine and Let Me Down that he's already released, but also songs like Me, Myself, and I and Again and Again, which Again and Again is maybe my favorite track on the album. I just love how it's set up and how it's produced, and the flow to it is really good. But the song that took me the most by surprise was Alien Boy, which is the most out there as far as the instrumentation goes. Like, it kind of doesn't have any distinct influences other than Oliver himself. Like, he's kind of influenced by himself, which gets back to the idea of being frustrated, not finding value in yourself and who you're presenting yourself as. And also, I might be alone in this, but parts of the album I feel like are parodies of either genres as a whole or other songs or artists. And then There's another song. I don't know how we would describe this as genre wise or whatnot, but the song "Joke's on You" almost sounds like a horror film. Like it's like it's got that like weird like staccato piano drive going on, which is not unusual. I've heard it before, but it's cool. It's a nice little touch, and I'm glad that it only happens once. If it happened anymore, I think it would have kind of overtaken the album. Spoke a little bit at length on the lyrics, but I want to mention something else. I think what makes him so approachable as far as being an easy listen is the fact that his lyrics are so elementary, and I'm not trying to like cut him, like I don't mean that as a slight, but like at no point was I like, oh, this is something deeper here, or like what does that mean? Like at no point did I feel like he was really causing the listener to stretch themselves or strain themselves, and that's not a bad thing, but it makes me wonder, like, is Oliver Tree a rapper singer who's a visual artist, or is he a visual artist who raps and sings? Like I can't really determine where he falls on that. All right, so let's talk about final score. I do enjoy this album. I think the idea that Oliver Tree is retiring from music, much like Logic just announced, is laughable. I don't think that he's actually going to go anywhere. I think Turbo is leaving, and that might be super obvious to you as a longtime fan of his, but to me, someone who's only been here for a couple months, like that's got to be it. Like he's got to be so tired of putting that on. Like I know I would. All right, so for final score, I'm going to give this album a 3.5 out of 5. I know that seems harsh. It's a 7 out of 10. The reason I say that is because I feel like he's not sure enough in the identity of his music to put out something that we as a listener could feel is cohesive. And also, not that it's his fault, but there's not enough variance in lyrical content to justify wanting to go back and listen over and over and over again. Catchy enough to be emo, and it's not produced enough to be pop, but it's just kind of there. But when the lyrics are constantly talking about how you're undeserving and you want something better and more, like it's just I'm kind of done with that. I don't really want that or need that right now. So again, I say, was this the right time? I don't think this is all we will hear from Oliver Tree. I think he just needs to take some time, reflect, and realize that we will love him for who he is. He doesn't have to put this on. He can be Oliver. We will love you as Oliver. But until then, we'll just have to wait. So 3.5 out of 5 is my score for Ugly is Beautiful. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'm Justin. This is the Millennial Mixtape, and this was an album review for Oliver Tree's Ugly is Beautiful. Let me know what album you think I should do next in the comments, and don't forget to tune in every Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, where I drop the latest episode of Best Theme Song Ever. I'm trying to find the best theme song ever written. So far, the only contender is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. All right, well, I'll see you when I see you. Until then, stay safe, stay well.